Alright guys, what is up? My name is BassWiz and today we're going to be talking about The Promised Neverland Manga Chapter 155. There will be spoilers for The Promised Neverland in this video. If you are not caught up, I suggest doing that before continuing. Without further ado, let's get into it. I guess the first thing I want to say about this chapter is that I am so grateful for this chapter. It reminded me why I love reading this series so much. We have suspense, we have mystery, we have this pure unsettling nature that I can't really describe, but it's just a weird feeling I get in my chest when I look at the grotesque artwork. Demizu Pozuka's interesting art style and how he depicts contortions of bodies. It's extremely interesting, it's really captivating. Especially near the end of this chapter, I got that same feeling of dread and discomfort as the end of chapter 1, which is the reason I started reading this series. That chapter hooked me in and it never let me go. I was not expecting what happened in this chapter. I wasn't expecting Norman to die, although I said I would understand if he did at this point, because it would have been like a complete character arc for Norman where he came back around to his old self. It would have been really tragic if he succumbed to the queen at this point, but thankfully he did not, and I'm grateful for that. We see that Cicelo got injured and they are put in this really dire situation where the queen is not dead. It's possible that royalty have multiple cores. This reminds me heavily of Tokyo Ghoul. For those of you who have not read the end of Tokyo Ghoul, I won't spoil too much, but some of the ghouls in Tokyo Ghoul have multiple kagune sacks or kakuhos, and it takes multiple hits to those to finally kill a ghoul. This is really similar, where the queen more than likely has multiple cores that need to be destroyed in order for her to be killed for sure. Nobody was expecting this. This is the first time we've ever come across a demon that had multiple cores, and not only that, the queen seems to be eating all of the victims that have been infected by the poison that Vincent made, and because of this, her body's going through massive trauma while at the same time growing exponentially. So the cells are being harmed by the toxin, but she's multiplying because she's eating so many of the demons on the floor that her body is deforming. It is starting to show the faces of anybody that she's ever ate, and we get some really interesting but grotesque artwork of this. We see the face, a face I was not expecting to see ever again in the story, mind you, because we did see how she died, but we saw the face of Sister Crone, and it was talking to Ray, Emma, and Norman as if it still had memories. And not only that, we see faces of kids that we saw shipped off. I'm pretty sure we see Connie's face in here somewhere, and they're all speaking, they're all calling out some of the demons she just ate, like Lord Jiran. His face is there, cursing the queen. We see Duke Everk right there, calling out to his highness. This is terrifying. Like, this is some really disturbing stuff, and none of our main characters, the three of them, are just completely stumped. They have no idea what to do against this. And to top it all off, at the end of the chapter, it seems like Regla Valima's main body broke off from the weird monstrosity she just birthed and starts walking towards them, and it has no face whatsoever. A reminder, the weak point of demons is their eyes. This thing has no eyes. So I have no idea what they're gonna do to fight against this. I don't know if this mass of faces of the people that she ate is hostile. We don't know if it's gonna attack. This is just a huge problem. I have no idea what they're gonna do to fight against this. I assume they're probably gonna run away and bring the fight to the main square where Musika and Sonju are, because it seems to me from earlier in this chapter that the only thing that can stop a rampaging demon that has been affected by the poison is the cursed blood. So Musika's gonna have to play a big role. I don't know if Sonju is gonna pull the same card where he feeds his arm to Regla Valima and that somehow stops her. They're gonna need a lot of blood probably, but Musika's blood is the only thing that I can see that can stop this monster. All in all, this chapter was amazing. I loved reading through it. I love the suspense. I love that we don't know what's going to happen next, and we still have the looming threat of an army going after the main headquarters that Norman was at. We still don't know what's happening there. Hopefully those kids from the Goldie Pond are going to be able to manage somehow, because it doesn't seem like Vincent is going to be able to get there soon. And even if he does get there soon, he has 2 injured people with him, and Vincent himself doesn't seem like a fighter. He's more like the brains. I want to know what you guys have to think about this. What can our characters do to get out of this situation, because it's looking really bad right now? Drop a like if you like what I have to say. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. My links are in the description down below. That will be it for me. See ya.